Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Welcome to our Sunday Stock Talk. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. Today, we're going to be talking about the series of companies that are going to be reporting earnings this week. Monday, we have United Airlines, Logitech. Tuesday, we have Verizon, Netflix. Wednesday, AT&T, and Tesla. Tesla's going to be my big focus, and that's Wednesday this week after the market closes. You guys have to let me know down in the comment section, or if you, again, of course, smash that like button and subscribe. I would love to host a live session on this YouTube channel for free, of course, hosting Tesla's earnings. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Also, American Airlines reports earnings on Thursday before the market opens, and then Intel and Visa after the market closes on Thursday, and Friday, American Express is the big dog. And then we have big tech reporting earnings in the first week of, right? It should be the first week of February. We'll have to double check on that because I think this week goes up until, it should be towards the end of the month. But again, we'll double check. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys see me okay? Everything's good to go? I'm sure a lot of you guys might have seen already, NASDAQ futures are in the green, which means that if the market were to be open right now, the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 would be at all-time highs once again and making new highs once again. So that's great for TQQQ. That's great for big tech. It should help Tesla bounce. Tesla's been getting absolutely destroyed from lower lows and lower highs, coming right back to retest previous lows of $200. But one thing that I talked about in yesterday's video, which, I don't know if you guys watched yesterday's video, I talked about the good about Tesla stock and I talked about the bad. I talked about the potential that it had to recover and that ROI, but I also talked about if it doesn't find a support at 200, it has a lot of downside potential, right? It could drop all the way down to 150. That was the previous support. And then we have 100. So sometimes, again, I know I make this mistake pretty often as well. And it's, you're so used to looking at a stock at very specific time frames. Like I look at it on the 1 minute time frame, maybe the 5 minute, maybe the 30 minute. But sometimes, again, it's just a bad habit. We're human, right? Sometimes I don't look at the 4 hour time frame or maybe the 1 day time frame to get that bigger perspective of what the market is doing as a whole. As you guys can hear, my daughter is at the door, so I do apologize for that. But let's go ahead and break down whatever stocks it is that you guys see value in. As we get closer to Wednesday, I thought that we could talk about the market's expectation for Tesla stock and what it expects Tesla to report when it comes down to its quarterly earning reports. And I want to remind you, right, we're going to talk about 5 different stocks within this video. I don't expect you to see value in all of them because first off, we're all just sharing ideas, right? And ideas are opinions. My goal within these live streams are for you to maybe cherry pick. Maybe out of those 5, maybe you like and see value in 1 or 2, if that, right? Maybe you can add it to your watch list and follow up with it when it makes sense to you. So again, I really hope that we earn your thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, don't be a stranger. Shoot me a direct message via Discord or via Instagram. So thoughts, or could you break down GM, please? Would love to. So GM has been one that I've been paying attention to. I originally wanted a short GM, but we have not been able to break below the moving average. So GM was an absolute trash company of a stock. Right? It's stock performance. There's a lot of times that like a stock might be, or a company might be a good company, but its stock performance doesn't necessarily reflect that. And I made a joke because I was shorting GM when it was hitting highs of around like $36 a share. It became very overbought within a short period of time. I began shorting it and I called it a shitty company. Obviously, a lot of people are die-hard GMs, right? People that are into Ford, people that are into GM, people that are into Chevy, whatever the case might be. There's a lot of people that were fanboying over GM, and I get it. I'm a big fanboy for Tesla. But nonetheless, again, it's nothing personal. It's its stock performance. And the stock performance for something like GM has been consistently bearish since early 2022. From $66 a share, it's hard to call this a bullish or a good stock because now it's trading at half that, right? Let's not make it personal. Let's talk about what it is. And it is more bearish than it is bullish. Now, it did have a really strong push up due to recent news. I'm waiting to see if it breaks below the moving average. If it breaks below the moving average and I begin to see consistent progress on the downside, then I would love to open up a short position, shorting the crap out of GM all the way back down to previous lows of $27 to $23 a share. Other than that, I don't want to overcomplicate it. Right now, it's holding above the moving average. It is struggling to break above $36 to $37, but it's holding above. So for me, if it's not showing any signs of progress on the upside or on the downside, to me, there is no reason on why I should open any position, why I should go long or why I should go short. It just doesn't make sense to me because any open position is a position that's open to risk. And if there is no clear direction, then I am choosing to take that risk without direction being clear. And when it came down to coming up with my trading rules, right, just like we talked about, direction must be clear, right? It doesn't matter if the market is bullish or bearish, or if this stock is bullish or bearish. There's always money to be made if you focus on one thing, and that is direction. So as of right now, no progress on the upside, no progress below that moving average. I would say I would like to stay cash now. You guys let me know what you think about GM when it comes down to that. Thank you for that breakdown. Much appreciated, boss. Nice stash. What's going on, Barney? I appreciate that. Don't worry, guys. I've been seeing your guys' comments on this bad boy. I will be shaving it probably today or tomorrow. So if you're part of our LPP team for our live trading session tomorrow, you probably won't be seeing the mustache. But again, if you're not part of our LPP team yet, we're running 50% off. Second link in the description down below. Can you look at AMD? AMD, also known as all-time highs. Just kidding. AMD has been a killer of a company. Do I think that it's a cheap stock? Do I think that it's a stock that is worth buying right now? This is 100% just my opinion, and please feel free to share yours. No, I think AMD, based off of recent patterns, is overbought. I think there's a lot of hype present, and it's not that AMD can't continue to rally. AMD can try to go up to 185, and that's great. It was already overbought, but just look at the previous times that it's ran up very quickly within a short period of time. Look at the RSI, right? We're relatively around that same time. Every single time that AMD runs up, becomes very overextended, it corrects itself. It's not rocket science. It's understanding the cycles that not just the market as a whole goes through, but also these stocks. And again, this isn't to encourage you to sell your AMD position if your intention is to invest in it long term. The whole idea of understanding these cycles are to know when to step on the gas and when to be maybe a little bit lighter on your position. If you see that AMD is at all-time highs, and this is one thing that we see happen with crypto so often. So a lot of people like to ask me, why don't I trade crypto? Because I think there's just too many inexperienced people in that space. What happens every single time that crypto hits new highs or begins to rally? Just everyone begins to buy into it, right? When crypto or Bitcoin hit 40,000, everyone bought into it. 45,000, everyone bought into it. 49,000, everyone bought into it. And then boom, it corrects itself. No one was buying it when it pulled back to, what was it, $19,000 a share or $20,000 a coin or $25,000. Everyone likes to buy when it's hyped up. And this is where that saying comes from. Buy the fear, sell the greed. And I think AMD is an amazing company, but it still is affected, just like markets are, through those same cycles. But please, let me know what you think. I think that AMD is a very bullish company right now. I would not consider shorting it. And I think that's the biggest difference. People think that because I would say, oh, I don't think it's a good buy right now. I don't. I don't because it is too overbought from my own criteria. But I also don't think it's a good short because it is too bullish. And I understand and respect it enough that it can continue to go higher. I just know that when it runs up this hard, it corrects itself. It runs up that hard, it corrects itself. It runs up hard, it corrects itself. Runs up hard, it corrects itself. So here, right? Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to, but every single time that it runs up hard and becomes extremely overbought, it corrects itself. So is it rocket science for me to try to assume that the probability for this thing to pull on back, not that it has to do it soon, but that it's likely? So again, knowing when to step on the gas or when to stay lighter in your position. Okay? So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Can you look at Intel bounced off of the moving average plus AI hype, still below all-time highs? INTC was not a good performing stock, right? But it's caught. I remember the time. Do you guys remember this? The time that AMD began to surpass Intel, and we saw quite a shift, and that shift really began to happen in 2021. We saw a really nice pullback down to $26 a share. It has been having a really nice rally, kind of partaking in that Nvidia, right? A lot of people on YouTube like to correct me on the comment section. And then AMD. So it looks like it's catching some of that craze of that AI, and artificial intelligence is relatively a little bit newer. So if you wanna be supposedly an early adopter and an early investor, and you think that this is only going to continue to go higher, then all power to you. As of right now, it is very bullish. It's above the moving average. It's above the EMA, and it shows to be strong. Now, is it cheap? No. But if you think that it's going to continue to run up, then I respect that. It's just too overbought for my taste. From $23 a share all the way up to $50 a share, to see something double in about a year, a little bit over a year, especially when its previous performance was very bearish, I would just be weary at this range. I wouldn't be afraid to take a position. I would just watch my position size, understanding that it is a little bit more on the overbought side. Let me know what you think about that. And I don't believe it's this week, right? I don't believe FOMC rate or FOMC meeting is this week. No, it is next week on Wednesday is the FOMC rate decision. So that's when the Federal Reserve will decide, are we going to be raising, pausing, or cutting interest rates? So I will be live streaming that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. So Coinbase will go bankrupt, mark my words. Dang, Alex coming out swinging. What's going on, Magda? Happy to have you here. So LPP here, I like that. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and break down coin. I appreciate you asking for me to break that down. Where is that? Carlos Lopez. So Coinbase has gone through its hype, and it goes through these cycles, right? Where it tries to run up, it sells off, runs up, sells off, runs up, sells off. It ran up this time really, really hard. Why did it run up? That's what I really looked into this, right? And how do I say this in a respectful way? There was craze behind this spot Bitcoin ETF, and it did the exact opposite of what every crypto hype investor thought it would. People thought that this was going to send Coinbase, after the approval, to $200, $300, $400 a share. And it did the exact opposite. It ran up, and then once it got approved, it began selling off. Buy the rumors, sell the news. Coinbase has just had a really bad history of it selling off. It's been extremely bearish, and right now it's going through a battle with the SEC. So they're in court, and it might take up to 3 months. But as of right now, it's not doing too hot, and neither is Bitcoin. And the more that Bitcoin sells off and more uncertainty that follows crypto, more uncertainty will follow coin. Now, this is kind of a wild card. I view Coinbase to be a high risk, high reward type of play. And if you want to put yourself in that position, you're an adult, you can do whatever it is that you want. But when it comes down to my LPP traders, the ones that get to watch me trade live every morning, although I might choose to short Coinbase, or I might try to go long with it depending on how it's trading for that given day, I never like to encourage it for beginners, because you need to learn how to walk before you run. And let me make something very clear. If you are someone that sucks at locking in profits or that sucks at managing risk, this is probably not a stock you want to mess around with. I think great things come with time, and your time will come, but you need to gain experience. And this is a fast moving stock, and it really can be when it gets going. And fast doesn't just mean good, but it could also mean that things can get bad very fast. And on my channel and in my lives, again, I do not like to just talk about all of the good. I like to talk about the bad, because anyone can make money, but can you keep it? And that's the whole point of our risk management. So as of right now for coin and everything that's been following it with the SEC court, the sell-off from the spot Bitcoin ETF approval, and the continuous bearish pattern of BTC, I do not see the light at the end of the tunnel for Coinbase right now. And this is just the beginning, because we gapped up to 40,000. Now imagine this. This is just my opinion. If we break the support at 40,000 on Bitcoin and it begins to actively sell off, create more fear, shouldn't surprise you, right? Because people are locking in profits, institutions are locking in profits. That bought down here, they're up over 150%. So if it does break below the support and begins to sell off back down to 35,000, 30,000, what do you think is going to happen to coin? Possibly sell off, right? Not that it has to, but that it can. So this is one that I'm paying attention to when it comes down to coin, because I want to see. I want to see if it returns back to its true direction of it being bearish, because there's huge downside potential, and that's great for short sellers, which I would like to call myself one. But if it does find its support and Bitcoin does begin to gain some ground and begin to recover, then this thing could potentially recover, and I wouldn't mind going long. Remember, remove your personal opinions aside. This isn't a personal between you and I. It's about one thing, and that's focusing on direction to make money. Because you can say, right, I've heard it all before during the whole AMC movement, people make it too personal. Let's be honest. Why are we here? You're not watching me because I'm super entertaining. You're watching me because we're trying to all do the same thing, and that's make money with what the market has to offer. So let's not make it more than that. We're all here to make money, right? Let's go ahead and break down two more stocks, and we will call it a Sunday Stock Talk, okay? So again, if you want me to break down your stock, drop a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then you can partake in that live chat. So we got Christian Morales. What's going on, my guy? We got ticker symbol BA. Hopefully I earn your thumbs up on this. We talked about Boeing. A lot of you guys liked the video that I made about Boeing when it was trading at the lows of 200. It's currently trading at 215. Still trading below the EMA, but if it does break above, I would consider taking a light position to potentially return back to its previous price point. But if it breaks above and then breaks back below, I would manage my risk accordingly. And then the price target would be to sell relatively to previous price points, which would be right around 250 to 260 when it comes down to its price per share. As of right now, it's still trading below EMA, so I see there to be no reason for me to jump in right now. If it does begin to break above, again, my alerts are set. I would love to add or open a position and then add when direction becomes favorable. Remember, I want to buy when I feel like I'm missing out and direction is clear. I don't want to buy early and then it just ends up getting rejected and it sells right back off. We've made that mistake too many times. So again, just trying to approach it a little bit differently. All right, let's go ahead and do one more. Okay. What's going on, Kevin? What's up, my guy? Can you break down WMT? That is from Sam. Okay. I'll do another one after this. So just share your top stock down in the comment section. We've broken down Walmart before. Walmart's incredibly bullish at a nice little pullback. It's been rallying ever since then, early 2024. End of 2023, early 2024, a nice bull run. Is it a little bit on the overbought side? Yeah, but it's still really bullish, and it's not at previous highs yet. This isn't a stock that I would say that is a make it or break it in comparison to everything out there. This is more of a retail stock that if I wanted to invest in something that was consistent over a long period of time, this would meet that criteria. But it's not one that I would, not myself personally, like to trade myself, right? Not huge upside potential, but not huge downside. It's just consistent. So if that meets your criteria, then great. It just doesn't for me. Maybe when it pulls back to the moving average and it becomes oversold, I would entertain it a little bit more. Margins are a little bit more attractive. But as of right now, from 162 to potentially 170, those margins just aren't for me. And if they're for you, then they're for you, and I applaud you for that. They're just not for me. So, all right, then Ronnie, then throw me a new one. I'm breaking down what we have up here. So if you want me to break down something, share it in the ticker symbol, share it in the ticker call out format, and I'd love to break it down for you. XOM, what's going on, Austin? XOM, incredibly bullish, recent pullback. This is ExxonMobil. I like it. I like that it's more during an uncertain time, and if it does continue to rally, which it has been very, very bullish, if it does, right? Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. Yeah, 22% ROI. So it's, again, that's the question. Can you tolerate it though? Can you buy when there's fear in the market and sell when there is greed in the market? That's the challenging thing, right? Because it doesn't have to recover right away or ever. So again, asking that question, I would look into a little bit more on the fundamentals on what's been causing this pullback, and then try to inform myself not just on the technicals, but also the fundamentals on, hey, can things even get worse before they get better? This would definitely be something that I would add to my watch list. So I appreciate you sharing that with me. All right. I see that there's still a handful of you guys. We already broke down AMD and we talked about in the video already. So if you're asking about that, then again, I think you're a little bit late to the stream. But if you have any further stocks that you guys would like me to break down, please just shoot me a direct message via Discord or via Instagram. And that's the first or third link in the description down below. I hope to see you for tomorrow's live trading session. That's going to be the second link in the description down below. It's 50% off right now. So if you sign up today, it's a one-time payment, lifetime access, and you get to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow and access to the daily, the A to Z video lesson library. I do want to remind you, this is my last reminder because it literally ends tonight. Check this out. Let me see a show of hands again in the live chat. This is our Tesla giveaway and it ends in less than 7 hours. So 6 hours and 29 minutes. So it's not going to be open tomorrow. Our Tesla giveaway officially ends tonight. We are doing 20x entries, and please don't overcomplicate it. So our Tesla giveaway ends tonight. We're doing 20x entries. You can head on over to shoptechbuds.com and select your favorite items. One of my personal favorites is the Go F Yourself Elon Musk tee. Look, I'm wearing it right now. Let me know what you think. But I mean, that within itself is a super popular tee. We have the Cybertruck mousepad, Cybertruck tee, the mystery box, but we also have a bunch of different items. We have our Wall Street tee, LA, Tokyo, Phoenix. We have a bunch of different mousepads, day trader mousepads, a bunch of accessories. They all literally get you automatically entered for a chance to win this Tesla Model 3 long range with white interior. So again, we are licensed and bonded when it comes down to our giveaways. You guys can feel free to check it out. So don't overcomplicate it. If you've ever wanted to buy any of our art, our apparel, our mouse pad, our accessories, this is just an additional incentive while already buying the items that you already want. So do not buy anything you don't actually want or you won't actually wear. I want to make sure that if you buy one of our shirts, that you're happy to take a picture with it where I can repost you. That if you buy our mouse pad, that you're happy about it, that you get to see it and use it and actually get use out of it. On top of that, you get entered for our car giveaways, and I hope that you guys appreciate that. So again, it officially ends tonight, and hope to be announcing maybe one of you as one of the winners for our Tesla Model 3 giveaway. If you have any questions about this, shoot me a direct message via Discord or via Instagram, but don't forget, watch our live trading session tomorrow, and that's the second link in the description down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note.